We see all the headlines, right? Electric cars, rockets heading to Mars, the whole social media saga. But what if I told you there's one single philosophical question that connects every single thing Elon Musk is building? Let's get into it. We're going to peel back all the layers, the companies, the controversies, everything, to ask a really simple question. When you get past the rockets and the cars, what is he actually trying to do? So on the surface, what we all see is this serial entrepreneur building these massive, world-changing companies, Tesla, SpaceX, X. But his stated mission? It's way more abstract. In his own words, it is all about expanding the scope and scale of consciousness. And that one idea, that's the key. It's the foundation for his entire worldview. Okay, so how in the world do you even begin to expand consciousness? Well, for Musk, it starts at level 1. You have to build the platform for it. And this quote right here, it completely reframes what a social media app is for. For him, X isn't just about posting and scrolling. He's trying to build something, as he says, that's as close to a collective consciousness of humanity as possible. It's a huge ambition. And he thinks there are specific tools you need to do this. X is designed to be a global town square, right? A place for words, pictures, video, all of it. It needs a secure way to message and call people directly, and, maybe most importantly, automatic translation that's built in to smash down the language barriers that keep us all in our own little bubbles.
So here's the crucial point. For him, this whole thing is not about designing an app for endless scrolling and getting those cheap dopamine hits. The entire project is being engineered to increase our collective understanding of the universe, to create real substance, not just another distraction. But look, a connected human consciousness, that's not even the end goal. That's just the launch pad. Because once humanity can think and talk on a truly global scale, well, then we can start to tackle the next massive challenge. How do we manage a future completely driven by AI? And that brings us to level 2, the post-work revolution. Now, Musk has a pretty wild prediction for our future. I mean, today, for almost all of us, work is something you have to do. But he predicts that in less than 20 years, working is going to be completely optional. It'll be more like a hobby, something you choose to do because it gives you meaning, not because you need a paycheck to survive. This huge shift is all driven by something called the singularity. It's this theoretical point where AI and robotics advance so fast, so exponentially, that the future just becomes impossible to predict. He compares it to a black hole, saying, you don't know what happens after the event horizon. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just completely unknowable from where we stand now. And just to be clear, he's not talking about some distant sci-fi fantasy. He's putting a number on it. He believes this society-altering change is happening in less than 20 years. That's well within our lifetimes. So, if work becomes optional, what on earth happens to the entire system that we've built around it? This is where things get really mind-bending. Let's move to level 3, life after money. That's right, you heard me. In this future where AI provides pretty much everything, a future of abundance, Musk believes that money itself will just disappear as a concept. So why would money vanish? Well, think about it. Today, money is really just an information system we use to decide who does what work. But in an automated future, the real currency becomes energy. It's a fundamental physics-based value. You can't just pass a law and print more energy. It's the base layer that everything else comes from. And this all leads to an even bigger question. What is reality anyway? Musk seems to operate on this fascinating principle he calls his theory of reality, which is the most interesting outcome is the most likely outcome. Basically, he thinks if we are in a simulation, it's designed to be interesting, not boring. And his logic for why we're probably in a simulation is actually pretty straightforward. First, just look at video games. They went from Pong, literally 2 rectangles and a square, to photorealistic worlds in about 50 years. Second, AI right now can have conversations that are more complex than most people can. Third, if you just follow that trend line, there will eventually be billions of realities that are completely indistinguishable from our own. So he asks the final question. What are the odds that we just happen to be in the one original base reality? Okay, so after all that, a collective consciousness, the end of work, simulation theory, what are we supposed to do with any of this? It actually all comes down to his final core piece of advice. For all of the futuristic, out there thinking, his core advice is incredibly grounded. In a world that's heading toward this post-scarcity future, the goal shouldn't be to just pile up wealth. It should be to create value. As he says, aim to make more than you take. Be a net contributor to society. And really, this leaves us with the ultimate question for this whole new era we're heading into. In a future of abundance, where you don't have to work and money is an obsolete concept, what's going to give our lives meaning? What will we even strive for when we can have pretty much anything we want?